right, now I have another project for you. Basically, it is to create a business card in Adobe Photoshop. Now, some of you out there, maybe you are designers or print designers, or you have a graphic design experience. And you might be wondering, why aren't we doing this in Adobe Illustrator? Well, for one, this is not a Illustrator course, and web designers don't typically use Adobe Illustrator. For those of you who don't know what Illustrator is, it's basically another software by Adobe that lets you create graphic designs with vector graphics rather than pixel-based graphics. However, Photoshop lets you do a lot of what Illustrator can do, or some of what Illustrator can do, specifically for the web, or if you need to create some print documents, you can. You have that, that option. So what you can do is, I've provided a download in this lecture to download Project 2, and it will have a businesscard.psd. You can also choose to create your own new PSD if you want. You'd have to make sure to use the right settings. So I'll show you that really quickly. File new. You could do custom settings. The width needs to be 3.5 by 2 inches because that is the standard business card. Resolution must be 300 pixels because it is a print based image, and CMYK color. And you can leave the background white. That should be just fine. But if you want to use this, then you can stick to this PSD that I provided, and you have my final example here and a group that you can put your own layers in to add your business card. You don't have to copy mine exactly, but you can if you want, and then you could experiment. So basically what you want to do is create your own business card. Now, again, like the projects, how they work is, this is the final example. Go ahead and try and recreate it. And for those of you who want to follow along, you may certainly do so. So go ahead and pause this, create your own card, or follow along. So here in this final example, basically what we want to do is have a few layers, and it's very simple. So I'm just going to create a duplicate. Actually, I'm just going to work in your business card. I'm going to turn mine off here. And I am going to create a new layer and get a background color. The background color will be white, so if I want to create a white background, I have to choose my paint bucket tool, which is right here, hidden under gradient, the paint bucket tool. So I want to paint this the white color. So you can see up here, the source is the foreground, and the foreground is yellow. So I can do one of two things. I can make this a yellow background and add a white section, or a white background and add a yellow section. So let's just use the yellow. So here we have a yellow background. You can use any color you want as well, and you could play around with that. Now what I want to do is create a split section with white on one side. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I want to perfectly split this yellow down the middle. Now, how do I find the middle of a canvas again? Well, we have to use our guides. So if I go and drag this guide from the left side ruler to roughly the center, it will snap to the center. And I already had a guide there for the vertical center, but basically all you would do is you would have no guides. I'm going to clear all my guides and drag from the top. And the center will lock, and drag from the left, and the center will lock. There we go. We have center right there. So now I'm going to create a marquee selection, rectangular marquee selection. Select right here, and then fill that with white. So I want to choose the paintbrush, and you could fill that with white by changing this to white here, or you could simply delete this layer. This section of the layer, but I want to perform non-destructive edits. So I'm just going to fill that with white. So I'm going to choose white and hit paint. Now a little trick for those of you who want to know how to, let's say my foreground color was yellow and the background is white, and I wanted to get the white background but maintain this color because I spent time trying to get the perfect color, and I don't want to lose it by just changing it for one little simple edit. All you have to do is hit X on your keyboard, and that will swap the foreground and background colors, as you can see there. So if your foreground you want it to be white, so you can do a quick paint bucket paint, there you go, and then you could swap it right back, so the yellow is there. So there we go, dead down the middle. Now I want to create a new layer, choose text, And I'm going to go with Helvetica and bold. And I want it to be black. I'm just going to click in here and just say Brad Hussey. And obviously you could put your own name. Web designer. And I'm going to center that. But first I need to make this bigger. Let's make that, I don't know, 48. Sure. And I'm going to select web designer, leave it as 24, but I'm going to make it regular, not bold. I'm going to finish that by clicking the check mark, commit those edits, use the move tool, and drag that so it's centered. And what you can do is free transform using edit, free transform, or command T, and then you could center that on that line. There we go. And now we have the text on one side, and now we're going to create one more layer and more text. You can hit T on your keyboard or click in the toolbar here. And I'm just going to put some fake information. You could put your real information if you would like. But for my own sake, I'm not actually going to put my contact information. So email at address.com, 1-808-123-4567. For those of you who know, 808 is the area code for Hawaii. And you might know that I really love Hawaii, so I like using that area code for fun. And then my website. I'm cool giving you guys that. And now let's make the phone number bold. So select the phone number and then hit bold. Great. Commit those edits. And now free transform. Whoops. Free transform and center that. There we go. I'm going to hide those guides. And there is a very simple business card. Now, maybe there's one more thing. I'm going to make this white, not black. So it has a really neat kind of white and black sort of swap. And there we go. Very simple business card. If you're just joining us now to see the final result and you've done a good job, then great. If you're not really sure how to do it yet, feel free to follow along with what we just did in that lecture. And hopefully that helps you learn how to create a very simple business card.